My name is Serdar Demirel. I am going to talk about religion as a progenitor and pair of culture. I am going to shift from medical sciences to social science. And my study is about the role of religion in creating the culture. In the first chapter of my study, I focused on the broader meaning of culture. And in the second chapter, I focused on, in general, what is the role of the religion in creating the culture. And in the third chapter, I focused on the Islam and the Prophet Muhammad, how he played in the life of the Muslim in creating the culture throughout the history. So, because of the time limit, I will focus only on the Quran and the Hadith here refer to the same deeds and the tacit approval of Prophet Muhammad, have a very important place in the formation of religious perception and religious practices in Islam. These two sources determine the worldview, values, and the behaviors of Muslims. The beliefs, worship, inner worlds, moral teaching, and social solidarity of individuals and communities, which constitute the identities of individuals and societies, are closely related to religion. In this context, Muslims believe that Prophet Muhammad is an example in every aspect. Their belief in this also guides the cultural phenomena they create. There are several principles. I believe these are the most important principles among the general principles which create the Muslim culture and the Prophet Muhammad directed. These are, first of all, the monotheism, belief in hereafter, separation of the divine and the human, consciousness of identity and cultural belonging, balance between material and spiritual life, and construction of language and the concept reflecting the Islamic worldview, culture of consultation, and multicultural living model. I will focus on two of them because of the time. Belief in the hereafter. The belief in the hereafter from Islamic perspective means believing in the existence of a second life that begins after the worldly life and continues eternally. This belief is repeatedly emphasized in the Quran and the Hadith, urging individuals to prepare for this eternal life that begins after the death, and to align all their deeds with the pleasure of Allah and the hereafter. This belief has given life to cultural phenomena in the lives of Muslims. One of these phenomena is the institution of waqf, endowment. One of the most important features of the civilization established by Muslims is the institution of waqf and the services they provide. In Islamic civilization, the most significant foundational element that brought the culture of waqf to the life is the belief in hereafter. In the historical experience of Muslims, the desire of attaining Allah's pleasure and in this world and hereafter has brought individuals and society together on a voluntary basis, forming the tradition of waqf. The term waqf, which means to stop, to hold, and to prevent, waqafa, in its literal sense, refers to a charitable institution established through a legal process where an owner dedicates their property permanently for religious, social, and charitable purposes. This is a significant component of Islamic civilization. As the definition suggests, a waqf transforms individuals' material possessions into religious and social services through voluntary and altruistic acts. For this reason, the definition of waqf as an institution established by the deceased and which does not die with the deceased and produce continuous service, describe the historical phenomena of waqf. It is an act of dedicating one's wealth to Allah, driven by the consciousness of earning His pleasure. The words, actions, and the encouragements of the Prophet Muhammad have instilled this belief in sentiment in Muslims. The Prophet said in a hadith, in one of his sayings, when a person dies, all his deeds come to an end, except for three: continuous charity, beneficial knowledge, and a righteous child who prays for them. In this hadith, continuous charity refers to lasting and perpetual acts of charity, such as building a mosque, a bridge, a school, a hospital, or an orphanage that continues to provide services even after the person has passed away. As long as these institutions benefit people, the person's record of good deeds remains open, and the rewards continue to be recorded. Therefore, Islamic scholars often associate Sadaqah Jariyah with Waqf. Waqf have provided significant services in various fields, including religious, cultural, military, civil, economic, and social sector. The schools, madrasas, and libraries established by Waqf have contributed to the advancement of education and culture, fostering the development of science, technology, and arts. Waqf have supported calligraphy, illumination, miniature painting, ceramics, marbling, music, and carpet weaving, ensuring the preservation and transmission of cultural heritage to future generations. Additionally, Waqf have offered services aimed at ensuring social justice, reducing income inequality, and maintaining social peace. These Waqf institutions, where different segments of society comes together, have promoted cultural tolerance and social harmony. One of the most significant contributions of Prophet Muhammad to Muslim society and state life, both during his time and throughout Islamic history, is the culture of coexisting he established. This culture allowed for the coexistence of different languages, religions, and ethnicities, leading to the emergence of new cultural phenomena. Prophet initiated his mission in Mecca based on two principles: to you be your religion, and to me be mine. And there is no compulsion in religion. He sought to establish these two principles of freedom in Mecca, and later, when he immigrated to Medina, brought them to the life by signing the Constitution of Medina with the Muslims, polytheistic Arabs, and Jews living in Medina. This practice includes the coexisting aspirations and state models developed by Muslim states throughout the history. With this agreement, different segments of society managed to organize themselves as a political unity while maintaining autonomy of their internal affairs. Thus, without imposing pressure on anyone, they accepted the other as a natural reality, embraced them as they express and define themselves, and showed tolerance towards their way of living and thinking. Some of the principles envisaged by this agreement are as follows. Disrespect for sacred values is prohibited. The sanctity of holy books and the careful protection of sacred persons and places must be ensured. Different religious identities should have freedom of belief and worship. The free practice of religious identities should be guaranteed by the state. The order established by the Prophet Muhammad through consultation was inclusive, transparent, and just, rather than exclusive. Everyone knew where they stood and the extent of their rights. To conclude, it is clear that the religions create cultural phenomena. In this context, Islam has played an important role in shaping the social and cultural phenomena of Muslims throughout history. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you. So we have a technical problem. Do you have any questions? Serdar.
So I think, religion is so important has been so important for building that kind of good, like guidelines to live a healthy and fulfilling life. In the UK, lots of people more people are becoming atheists. Can you see any kind of like way of transferring some of those important concepts into someone who may not believe or may not believe as strongly?
Even in this, let's say, in Muslim society, we have atheists, but they are Muslim culturally.
Right.
Let's say they don't eat flesh of the pork, although they don't believe in God. And what's the reason? Because they have this culture throughout their ancestors and the family from the society. So still it plays a great role.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a lovely talk you've given. I think it exemplifies the ideal of allowing everybody to be who they feel they need to be at the time, and actually containing that environment for cross-fertilization of ideas and multiculturalism that makes everybody's lives richer and advances education on a multiple levels. I think it's also interesting to say that in parts of the world where those ideas have been changed to be a very one size, you do what is one facet, leads to the breakdown of those ideas. And
this the Constitution of Medina, which Prophet Muhammad signed with those settlers of the Medina, it guided Muslims throughout the history. Just as an example, Ottoman state. The system was based in Ottoman state, which is called Millah system. Millah here refers to the different religions. So the Muslims, Christians, Jewish, they used to live in Istanbul side by side. And up to the collapse of Ottoman state, the number of the non-Muslims in Istanbul was 45%. But it is only after the collapse of Ottoman state, the number of the non-Muslims reduced after the national state. Because national state recognized only one nation. If we look at the Abbasids, if we look at the other Islamic states, let's say in India, Mongols, we will see this multicultural existing in the society, and based on the religion, based on the Constitution of the Medina.
yes, I mean, I think we can all recognise that diversity brings strength and a mutual growth.
Yeah. Here, the Quran refers to the three types of identity. In the one of the Quranic verses, it says, all human, you have been created from a man and a woman, male and female. And for what reason? You recognize each other. And the best of you in the sight of the God, the best of the one who is the righteous one. So here, three identity has been one, everyone is human, belong to the human family. They are equal in this term. Number two, you are having different nations, Arabs, Kurds, Turks, and others. This is not to claim superiority. This is to recognize yourself, each other. But who is the best in the sight of God? The one who practices good deeds. This is a three identity. One is the general, one is the upper identity, lower identity, and the special identity.
Okay, thank you very much.